Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to the Little Reader's house. I'm the Little Reader, and you, my sweet friend, have found your way in to my house. Get cozy, get comfy, you're not alone. You never are, ever, inside or outside of this house. However, today you're definitely not, because we have this beautiful rose quartz sphere just bopping around, providing some good vibes to the transmission. When I say transmission, what do I mean? I mean that I'm going to yap a little bit, and I mean that in the most respectful way to myself. I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm going to make some jokes, drop some accents, communicate some spiritual, the phrase mumbo jumbo comes to mind, Jerry, but it's not mumbo and it's not jumbo. It's what you make it. It's how you judge it. It's how you use it. But beneath all of that, beneath the layers of what I say and how it does or doesn't make intellectual sense, is a vibe. And that energy and that love that comes straight from my heart is going to transmit from here to there. That's what the transmission is. So, if you accept, take a deep breath in, let it go. Then witness. Here we go. Let's rock and roll. Oh my gosh, this rock rolls. Okay. Yeah, inner child very intact over here at the Little Reader's house. So today's transmission, meeting your highest self. You've heard on the spiritual streets the term higher self. Like, your higher self knows your ultimate destiny, or what the next phase of your expansion and evolution is. And here on the spiritual streets, as I like to call them, where we do tarot and we enjoy mysticism and we use Wiccan practice for casting spells and setting intentions, and we use manifestation and the New Age and even honor ancient religions of both the East and the West. That's what I mean when I say spiritual streets. The term higher self gets bandied about. Period. Gets bandied about. And our intellectual understanding of the higher self is that it's like the level above us. As I said, it sees more. It knows more. Has a handle on the bigger picture. And that's wonderful. Wonderful. The stories I could regale you with, darling, about how I and those I've known and loved and served or just met in passing use the higher self for their various personal and spiritual agendas. Oh, the stories I could tell. And one day we will. But for today, take a pause. Maybe a breath. And contemplate how you have understood the higher self in your own life. What has it meant to you? Can you hear it? Do you know it? Do you aspire to be it, to integrate it? Spirit's whiz, which is short for wisdom, comes through as this today. In the spiritual community, we've given the higher self a pedestal, a role, and obsessing or mentally focusing on the concept of the higher self is beginning to cause separation from the divine in an interesting way. Because we personify the self here, then we personify the higher self as over here. So there's already a separation that we're acknowledging. And then we keep trying to step into this higher perspective that has more wisdom and more power and is more healed and it's more integrated. But what it's doing, my love, is it's creating another divine, and it's using the mind to comprehend oneness, which the mind cannot do. The mind cannot comprehend oneness or wholeness. It can attempt to grasp and construct ideas of wholeness and oneness, but it can't embody. To embody wholeness and oneness is to feel it beyond the mind, in the heart, and in the body. So Spirit's introducing a new concept. Higher self. Kiss it. Thank it for all the ways that it's assisted you. If you're not ready to let it go, don't. You hold on tight, baby. But if you're curious and playful about what it could be like to let it go, goodbye, higher self, for a moment. Now Spirit introduces the highest self. Your highest self. Yes, you are not alone if you imagined me or anyone else incredibly high on a substance. That was the first thing that entered my mind. That is not what Spirit means, but thank you, beautiful mind, for that. Your highest self is not you blitzed out of your mind on drugs, alcohol, or some other unidentified substance. Your highest self, my love, is you now, exactly as you are. What? Well, doesn't that just take all the romance out of the spiritual practice then? Little reader, how am I supposed to, get better and expand and evolve and manifest my car, my job, career promotion, everybody look at me, the book, the publishing, the travel, the lover, or, lovers plural. How am I supposed to manifest all this stuff and be like the biggest, bestest version of me if my highest self is me right now? Perfect. If that's where your mind went, wonderful. Recognize that as a mental wall that illuminates to both of us something about our mind. Our mind only believes that it's growing if it's doing. Whether that means thoughts whizzing through the head or action in progress. The mind loves it even more when we're doing in a specific direction, a plan. If you start to feel your mind throwing up, and I don't mean regurgitating, but I mean revealing red flags about why it's not okay to stop and rest, then you've identified a very beautiful moment in your evolution where you may drop one identity and not even bother putting on a new one. And that moment is called your highest self. You've just met it. The mind doesn't like it because it takes away a lot of the mind's power. The mind is the planner, the analyzer, the judger, etc. If you tell the mind that you're already your highest self, what's a mind to do but to go quiet? But Spirit says you are already your highest self, here and now. And the way to feel your proximity to that inner knowing is with a mantra we've dropped here in the house. We've sprinkled it around before, called all is well. All is well. That is the mantra that your highest self knows through and through. And it underpins every single layer of self-identity that we've created, or rather constructed, because the mind doesn't create, it only constructs. So, let's say that in a way that wasn't so whatever it was. Say it simply. You got a lot of layers. You got a lot of beliefs. You identify with a lot of shit. Material, personal, ways of being, who you think you are, personality, what others think of you, the image you're trying to portray, even if you're trying to portray the image of having no image. Been there, done that, good luck. And there's nothing wrong with any of that. That's the whole point. Your highest self knows that that's all fine, all part of the process. Your highest self is able to unconditionally love you exactly as you are, right here, right now. And the mantra it lives by and breathes by is that all is well. All is well. Yeah. So, what Spirit's asking in practical application terms is the next time you get a wild hair up your arse, my love, to judge yourself for not being enough, not doing enough, not expanding enough, etc. All your failings and faults, we can list them. Maybe I'll start. Check the comments. Maybe I listed a bunch about myself with this video, just to keep it real with you. Each time that begins to emerge, or conversely on the other side of that, we start to get this epic superiority complex about how much better we are than everybody else. I am more advanced. I have worked harder. I've created an entire empire, a following, a community. I'm rich, the friends, the face, what people think of me, and we're getting off again on self-concept. If we go in either of those directions, pushing away from, resisting the moment as it is, something that we can only appreciate when we're not in the judging mind. Whether we get obsessed with our healing and self-improvement, or obsessed with our accomplishments and our own delightfulness. Typically, those are two sides of the same coin, by the way, and you'll see it in real time. If you're swinging from one extreme to another, you're definitely feeling both. It's just alternating waves over the course of days, moments, hours, weeks, months. You will get hit with the other. If you find yourself doing this, get still. Take a breath. And say, all is well. All is well. Who you are or aren't, perfect. What you've done or not done, perfect. The way you judge or don't judge yourself. God, say it with me now, love. Perfect. Again, perfect. Perfect. Maybe not providing you with all the pleasure of validation, liberation, abundance, and all the other things you think are going to make you happy. Again, think. Maybe the moment's not doing that for you. But maybe that's not the medicine required right now. Your highest self is the you sitting, standing, laying, or potentially inverted. I don't know how you are right now. Right as you are, right here, right now. No information required. No additions required. No changes required. This doesn't mean to throw away the plan. This doesn't mean to give anything up or to make a new plan, to give everything away. Let things continue to unfold as they've been unfolding. In fact, rather than try to make any abrupt changes based on this premise, as so many do with their higher self, Oh, my higher self gave me an inspiration. Well, I guess I'm changing everything now. Instead of that, beautiful soul, continue to watch all unfold as it's unfolding. You may surprise yourself with some new actions that you've never taken before. And as it unfolds or doesn't, perhaps it remains totally stagnant, you sit and you repeat, all is well. And you align with that truth, your highest self. Because what your highest self knows is that there are no mistakes in this universe. That all really is freaking well. That the great forces that be in the biggest picture that sees all and knows all has crafted you and all of your layers and personalities and so-called shortcomings and gifts and talents flawlessly. You've never made a mistake in your life. You haven't even been in control of this whole thing. That's another kettle of fish, can of worms we'll get into later. So can you love yourself unconditionally here and now? Can you accept that all is well, including you? That you are not the square peg in the round hole. That you are not the variable that's messing everything up. That you are not a failure, a mishap, or this close to perfection. Baby, you are perfection. Don't try to make it make sense. Just zippy the lippy and align. Now is perfect. You're perfect. All is well. That is how you meet your highest self. If you want to practice it in real time with our group, head over to the Patreon for $1.11 per month. There's a lot of good stuff in there. It is worth every fraction of every penny you invest. But if you already got it, turn this off and go practice. Until we meet again, I'm sending you all of the love I've got. It is always more. It is never less, because you, beautiful soul, are so very worthy of it. So very worthy. I love you. Bye for now.